I do, Buckaroos. How the heck are you? So I got something here. This was actually from a coworker that does some home brewing. But he's got some of this hard cider that he's won some awards for. This is Pappy's. This is he has a regular version. This is an oak barrel aged version. So Pappy's oak barrel aged cider, 20%. You know, made in Arkansas there, and there it says 20%. So there you go. Wow. Get that bottle positioned so you can see it nicely. I haven't had this before, so I don't know what I'm going to be tasting here. So we're going to learn together here. Wow, it's 20%, man. It ain't playing. You can feel the oak on the nose very nicely. Oh, wow. Damn. I wasn't expecting that, man. Wow, that's interesting. Wow, it's 20%. That's for sure. Wow, holy crap. I may just have one glass of this for now. Damn. Holy shit, a brick. You know, it's funny now that I think about it. I assumed it was an apple cider, although I didn't ask him what was in it. That's funny, yeah. I think I just made the leap. It says oak barrel aged cider. I didn't ask what fruits he used to make this. Gosh darn it. I just assumed apple cider. I don't care. I'll drink anything, man. Like Mikey, give me the beer whisperer, I'll drink it. I'm a cider whisperer. This is very interesting. So let me tell you what I'm getting, right, wrong, or indifferent. I'll tell you what I'm tasting. I didn't ask for any tasting notes. Like I said, I didn't even ask him what he used to make it. Feeling a lot of plum, to be honest with you. I was getting some of those fruits on the nose, but expecting, you know, apple. I certainly do feel a little apple. But I'm getting a lot of oak. I'm getting some plum. Almost like a barely or underripe plum, you know, not the dark. There is a nice amount of sweetness. Dries up. You can feel some of the alcohol. You can. I'm not going to lie to you. It is 20%. But it's not necessarily unpleasant, nor do I feel that it's too hot. It's very interesting. So I don't drink a lot of product like this, to be honest with you. It's not in my wheelhouse, so I don't know a lot about it. I'm not really sure what flavors I should be getting. I'm just going to tell you what I get, whether I like it or not. I know he's won awards for this, man. Something else I'm getting that I haven't quite figured out yet, but I know I'm feeling some plum in there. I'm going to say I'm getting hints of pear, apple. I'm feeling the oak bigger on the aromas, to be honest with you, than on the flavor. But you do taste it. I'm getting it more on the very back end, right at the very end, that helps dry up the sweetness. But there's so much oak on the nose, really makes you think you're going to get a lot of oak all the way through it, and you really don't. You don't really feel. You feel these great big fruit notes, or whatever you decide you're going to get. It's on the back end that I feel the oak. Very damn interesting. Yeah, I'll tell you that right now. That's some interesting stuff, man. Wow. Nectarine, that's what I was almost like there's these nectarine like notes. It's like it's stone fruit. But didn't feel like peach or apricot. Yeah, what the hell? That's what I'm saying. Hey, Pappy, you might think I'm crazy. I don't know. Like I said, this isn't a product I drink a lot of. I'm kind of going at this like I do at craft beer. I'm kind of trying to work out every individual flavor, and that's kind of what I'm getting here. It is enjoyable. I mean, it's not bad at all. It had been rather warm here in the Ozarks, but now we've had some rain. It's a little bit cooler today. It is not chilly by any stretch of the imagination, but it is awful cool for this time of year in the Ozarks. That I will say. It's very interesting, man. It really is. Kind of approaching this, and when I asked him how he said approach it like it's a scotch, so I was going to ask him if I should drink it at 20%, drink it like a wine. So kind of pour it into my family wine glasses here. It's got the family crest on it. I broke into my good glasses. So I don't know if how well you can see that or not. My dad bought these for my mom. Good Lord, I don't know how long ago now. Who can keep track? I don't know, 40 years ago. 30 years, long time ago, let's just say. let's just say they're old, man. So anyways, but then, she was getting rid of her glasses and knew I was the one that appreciated the glassware, so I ended up with a lot of glassware. There were other pieces of glassware that some of the other siblings wanted, and that was fine, but I really wanted the family crest glasses. It's got this size. There's a smaller, this shape, but a little smaller glass. There's also a nice craft. I don't know, probably designed for one. I don't know, but I've typically used it for whiskey. I've got a square one that I haven't dug out since we've moved that I always use for bourbon, because bourbon should always be in a square decanter. But this one's more round, so I've typically used that when I've had good Irish whiskey around. I don't at the moment. I don't have any real good whiskey around at the moment. Hope to build up my collection one of these days. I say collection. It was never really a collection. I kind of buy stuff, but I don't buy stuff to collect them. I buy them to use. So at one time I had several bottles, but I gradually drink them all. I mean, I bring them to a friend's house. I bring them and share them with friends and that sort of thing. I like to use everything. I'm not a fan of collecting things just for the sake of collecting things. Some very interesting stuff, man. So nose. Break it down one more time for you. I get a lot of oak initially on the nose. Then you have some mixed fruit notes in there. You're probably going to find some apple. I swear to goodness, I'm feeling some plum. I just am. I'm feeling some pear. My dad used to carry these nectars when we had the catering truck, and there was a nectarine. I'm getting kind of that flavor. That's what it was almost like that nectarine nectar, that syrup kind of feel. But then I'm also getting some apple in there for sure. I'm feeling the plum that I talked about earlier, but almost like either slightly underripe or just barely ripe kind of plum, not that overripe plum that you might get in a Belgian double or quad. It's more of an underripe, and then I'm feeling kind of that nectarine thing. I get a lot of oak on the nose, but the taste is just those big fruit notes early on. I get the oak right at the end that kind of dries it up. That really keeps it from being too sweet. Otherwise, it might be too sweet. Certainly not dry, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of sweetness early on. Dries up nicely due to the oak in the finish, in my opinion. I'm not sure. I haven't tried the regular version. Without that oak, it's going to be very sweet. . because it's really that oak that puts a stop to the sweetness. So there you go. Man, it's already making me a little punchy. It's my first drink of the day, but man, it's 20%, man. Fucking biscuits. Well, thanks, Pappy. I appreciate it. I just met Pappy. Pappy's a new co-worker. But he heard about my beer thing. The other, my fellow co-workers told him about it. So I work for a craft brewery in Arkansas. I'm not a brewer. I'm a sales guy. It's funny, you talk to most beer reviewers or guys that are into beer that do work for breweries. They all tend to be brewers. I'm not. I don't want to do that, and I've done some home brewing. I kind of got an idea how the process works, but I love talking about beer more. So I love the sales aspect of the business. That's what I love to do. I love going into liquor stores, restaurants, bars, pubs, speakeasies, and just talking about the beer, man. I just love that aspect of it. Although in the corner of the world I work, I may be the only non-hipster beer representative. Well, no, that's not true. My co-salesman has been at the company longer than me. He's a little bit older. But I think we're the only two that aren't hipsters in our neck of the woods. I'm relatively certain we're the only two that don't have a beard. Anyways, I digress. This stuff's making me punchy already. Son of a biscuit. Oh, biscuit's gravy. It's gonna make me giggly, I can tell, man. Well, today I am Tom the Cider Whisperer. I can't use my usual spill because I don't know enough, so let me just skip to Purveyor of Wisdom and all around good guy. Damn, you all have a good one.